Does that make you freak out wondering, oh my gosh, now what do I need to do? I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s. I can't believe there's 17 more steps. Hey, let's go through it. I want to share with you some tips on, if you're especially in your 30s and 40s, on what you pretty much have to do to have a kick butt body, health, fitness, and more. Now, where did I get this information from? Well, I'm in my 40s, so I do know this is mostly generated from experience, trial and error and failure many of the times, and really trying to figure me out and make sure that I'm trying to be as healthy as possible. Now, I wasn't always super healthy, super yo-yo, and super addicted to processed foods and not loving exercise, and a lot of that hasn't changed a lot. Still, I love all that stuff, but I've learned throughout the years, and especially being in my 40s, I really have, it catches up with you. And it's so funny. When you're young, you think, oh, I don't need to worry about that stuff. It's not going to be me. I'm going to be totally fine. And that was me too, because I was in my 20s going, I am not going to be complaining about aches and pains when I'm old, because I am so fit now. I'm not going to have that problem when I get older. But guess what? Everything breaks down. Everything breaks down. You keep wearing on something, and just like your good sweater, a hole's going to happen. So that's the same thing with your body, and we got to try and take care of it. So we're going to go through some of these steps and some things that I've just captured by, again, life experience, but also by just educating myself. I'm constantly trying to figure out and learn from, different resources, especially online. But myself, I'm a fitness instructor. Over 25 years of being a fitness instructor, I've really figured out how to find the best resources to figure out about your nutrition, your workouts, and that always changes too. So what we were doing before may not be accurate or good now, because science changes. We learn more about the body, and we learn, oops, we shouldn't have been doing that all along. So those are some things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Glad that you are here, and these are 17 steps. Good. Trish, she says she's feeling it. She's in her late 30s, and definitely things change. Now for me, you know how they always say that everything changes on the 20, on the 30, on the 40, on the 50. Do you ever hear that, where all of a sudden, like, your hormones are off and what was working before doesn't work now? Well, for me, it's on the 9s. So when I was 29, 39, like, all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why doesn't this not work? And so when I started at 39, being 43 now, I was really trying to figure out, why is fat not coming off my body? Like, I couldn't figure it out. Everything I was doing with my nutrition and workouts just didn't work out anymore. And I was panicking, and I kind of panicked for about 1.5 years to 2 years until I tried to figure it out. And one of those steps of what I've been doing is on here, more than one of those steps. Big time, big time. 33 is not the new 20. Okay. Why did someone say that? Or you're saying that, Faith? Well, Julie, I am not ripped, but thank you. I think I just take good videos and pictures. So guys, what I'm doing. So I am a Team Beachbody coach, and what I'm doing and what I love to do with you all is just to share what I learn and my experiences, because I look at it as, if I can help someone, just even one person, be able to make a bigger impact faster in their life, then I'm going to share it. And that's really all you do as a coach, is you just really help support people, and you do things like this on social media, just trying to, share what you've learned throughout the years of your trial and error, and really just try to help other people, if that's what you want to do. Some people don't want to help other people. I like to help other people. So thanks so much. You guys are way too kind. Thank you, Tina and Trish. You guys are so kind. Let's get into it. So I've got 17 steps, and I picked 17 because that's a popular number for lists. Yep, that's the truth. So everything's for a purpose. Did you know that? No, 17 is kind of where it landed. And I was like, well, you know what? That's the good number that a lot of people look for when they look at lists. They like odd numbers. Think about it. Every time you see a list, is it an odd number? Like 11 things that you need to eat before bed. We always look for the odd number. Thanks so much for all the hearts. That's so cool that you're giving me hearts. So changes, growth. 42 was a year most fit for me. 55 now. I think I need to run to LA and back to Florida. Funny, Monica. Awesome. Good seeing you out here, Dave. So these are steps that will apply for everyone, but I'm going to be quite honest. This is predominantly going to be spoken to a woman because I'm a woman and this is just my life experience and what I'm hungry to learn for. So I learn a lot about me and women since that's me. And by the way, I do have deep conditioner in my hair, and I went to the hair salon today. Finally, I'm no longer a brunette with highlighted tips. I'm back to my natural color. And so he put in a deep conditioner and said, "You're not going anywhere tonight, are you?" And I said, "Nope." And that's where I am. So let's go through it. 17 critical steps. So again, these I've all compiled from everything that I've learned and what I teach myself as well. First step is you may need to reevaluate and go to your doctor. That's one of the first steps that I had to do. So after over a year struggling, trying to figure out why is this not working for me anymore when I was 39, 40, it's because a lot of things in my body changed. And unfortunately, especially when you get up into the 40s, hormones change and a lot of things change. Like I was even hypothyroid. I even had low iron. I had low D. Like everything just seemed to go out of whack. And it could be for multiple reasons. And some of the reasons on here outside of nutrition is a reason why things got out of whack. So realistically, these 17 items are so critical for you and to prevent any issues with yourself as long as possible, but just constantly keep reevaluating. So that's it. So first things first, go to your doctor, get a full blood work test. So if you've been doing things and things are not working anymore, or you're super frustrated and you really are following a system, so not something that you're just randomly picking off workouts on the internet or just trying this diet for this week and that diet for another week. Obviously, consistency is everything. So if you've been doing consistency, you're really pushing hard, you're really being honest with yourself, because I don't know how many times I talk to people about their fitness, because obviously that's what I do is as a Beachbody coach, people want me to help them with their fitness programs. And so me as a Beachbody coach, fortunately I do have fitness background, but not every Beachbody coach does, or do they have to? Because why do they need to when all of the programs have a complete meal plan and workout calendar set for them? They don't need to know all that stuff. They just need to lead people through it and be a resource and accountability. So that's key number one. But the thing is that sometimes when you have been really thinking that you're doing great with your nutrition or your workouts, you might be fooling yourself because you kind of don't want to be honest with someone who's asking you. You know, when someone says, "What'd you eat today?" And the answer is always like, "Well, I barely ate. You know, it's all I had was grapefruit and eggs in the morning. And then for lunch, I just had a salad with a little bit of grilled chicken, no dressing. And then for dinner, I just had fish and broccoli and nothing else. And that's all I had." You know, a lot of times people will say that, but we know the truth is that they're picking chicken tenders off their kids' plates, and they're going into the cupboard and they're grabbing a handful of nuts, and they're grabbing things here and there, and they're not even accounting for it. And then they may not even account for that little cupcake bite that they had at lunchtime when it was so-and-so's birthday. You know, that's typically what happens. Thanks, Darcy. That's so kind of you. Awesome. I'm glad. I know. I love these hearts and thumbs up. Like, that's like sweet. It's really cool. I wish I could take a screenshot. I think you guys can. And I think it gives a camera. I'm not exactly sure. Second step is where you are. I think this is best for you to do frequently, no matter where you are. Reevaluate your fitness level and then reevaluate your goals. So yeah, you know what? I am 43 and I think like I'm still in my 20s. I really do. I kind of have a maturity level sometimes of that, especially when I'm with my girlfriends or my kids. But I honestly don't feel like that number just sounds weird to me. Why do I say that number out loud? It's not true. It doesn't seem true that I'm that number, but I am. And that's the case. I just don't feel it. Yeah, I probably look up in my 30s or so, and sometimes on a bad day, 40s and 50s. But the thing is that you don't have to be the number that you are. And I personally don't feel like it. But if you never reevaluate where you are in your fitness level, you're never going to really see the changes that are happening in your body, the injuries, especially what's not working anymore, or where are you weak or deficient or unbalanced. So you have to constantly keep reevaluating your fitness level and also your goals. So Julie, you're a fitness instructor, so do the same workouts every week. So Julie actually brought up a great point, especially being a fitness instructor. Those are some things that can really put you in a bad place. I know, again, speaking from experience as a fitness instructor and working with thousands. I mean, I've certified thousands of fitness instructors when I worked for Chalene Johnson's company, Powder Blue Productions. I've certified thousands. And I see the hole that many instructors and personal trainers get themselves in is they rely on their workouts to be their workouts, or they rely on the classes that they're teaching to be their workouts. And they do the same exact thing every week. And that's not going to be beneficial for their body, because as instructors, we get accustomed to what we're doing. That's why we can talk the entire class and still do that high intensity workout. It's because we've conditioned ourselves to do that. It's not taxing us like it should be. So, I certified you, Sherry, in PIO at the Platinum Edge. That was my very last certification, ending my career as a master trainer presenter. So I was a master trainer presenter for 15 years. 12 of which with Chalene Johnson directly, and then she sold the company over to Beachbody, and 3 of those with Beachbody. So the Platinum Edge PIO event was my last certification that I did ever, certifying people. So I'm glad you're a part of that. Cool. So I'm 41 to find out where I was 9 years ago. Definitely, things constantly change. So you also have to reevaluate your goals. So this is still step number 2. So reevaluate your fitness level and how your body's conditioned, your intensity level, because you should be constantly in an ebb and flow of decreased and increased aerobic capacity and anaerobic capacity. So if you're trying to figure out what that means, kind of think of it as, do you get winded going upstairs frequently? Because sometimes you'll notice that you do, and that's because your training may not be up to par. And those are some areas that you might want to consider. The other is your goals. So obviously, as you get older, there's some other things on here that are more important that are going to establish that for your goals. But honestly, I mean, when you're younger, and this is just me speaking from experience, I can't talk about you guys, but I can only assume I'm not in the same boat. But I know when I was in my 20s, I mean, I was trying to find myself. I was trying to put my place in the world, have some importance, have some success, and also attract someone who wants to marry me, not just marry me, because I'm probably sure I could have just gotten married, but find my mate for life. And so you're constantly like in this position of trying to find yourself. And we sometimes will put too strong or wrong goals on ourselves. So I was in my 20s. I remember I just had gotten out of a relationship, one that I was so hurt by, and I dove into training for those fitness competitions, the ones where they do all the dance routines and the flips and all that stuff. I was like, I'm gonna do that. And I was training in the gym. I'd work a full day at the hospital and then come to the gym, and I'd be there like 4 or 5 hours. And it got to be a point, like about a month or so of doing that, I was like, I don't like this life. Like, I don't want to be obsessed about every morsel I put in my mouth, and to constantly be obsessed about, working out and missing a day or being sore. And, I just didn't like that. And for me, that goal was not a smart goal. And I didn't finish it because it was just not aligned with the way I wanted to live life. And I realized that once I got into it. So sometimes we set too strong of a goal or an unrealistic goal. You got to know what your body type is. And growing up, I'm the youngest of 4 girls, and I have a lot of muscle. I mean, my body stature is not this little thin, petite, dainty girl. I mean, that's not me. I've always been solid. I guess my grandmother, before she died, she told me that when I was 4 years old, I went up to her and I said, Grandma, why am I so chubby? And I can't believe that was my thoughts when I was 4 years old. But I know that growing up, I hated my thighs, hated my arms, hated how big they were. And now I'm grateful for my thighs. My arms can get big still, but I'm so glad. Those are my best feature that I love. And that's something that, was a difference, is that I was trying to be my sister, the one just older than me, and she was always 90 pounds, 5'2", super ripped up, and I was trying to be her, but our bodies were different. Our bone structure is different. And so sometimes you set unrealistic goals that you have to kind of check yourself. So be careful about that. I should do an Ironman. Oh my gosh. No. Sitting my butt on a bike for that long, my arms would fall asleep, because I can't even do a spinning class because my arms fall asleep from being in that position for so long. Oh, your daughter's lean, always had strong abs. Awesome. Lauren, good. I'm glad this is connecting with you. Hey, let's go on to number 3. So the third thing that you must do to kick butt body is to make sure that you are making this a priority and scheduling it. There's so many times, and I know I'm so guilty of this myself. I used to travel for a living. I would travel from state to state every week with my suitcase that sometimes I would not even change the suit that I had in there. I would just wear it to the next hospital in a different state because they didn't know I wore it the last week in another state. So I would travel all the time. And after working in a hospital all day long, training people on the technology and the equipment that we were installed in their x-ray department, I was exhausted. And all I wanted to do was get back to the hotel, order like room service or get food and sit there and not work out. And so if I left that up to my willpower to work out at the end of a work day or when I had time, it's not going to happen. So really, if you look at your week, define what days you're going to be working out. You know your schedule. Pretty much everyone's schedule kind of, repeats every week. You know exactly where that would be. Honestly, today is a day where I failed because normally on Wednesday afternoons, I like to go work out and I like to go to the track if you follow a lot of my videos because the sun's out and I just love the sun. Obviously I'm tan, but I'm back from Miami Beach. But the thing is I actually skipped that today. It wasn't on my schedule because I impromptu put a hair appointment on in the afternoon. That took too long of a time because I damaged my hair myself. I will sometimes do the box and my hairdresser has to fix the boxes. So that was my fault because I did not keep it as a priority and I did not put it on my schedule. So when I replaced my normal workout time with a hair appointment where I thought I'd be done with my hair appointment by 3 and then be able to go work out, that didn't happen because things just took too long. And so that's where I then went shopping. I went to Ulta after. Hi, I'm done working out because when I got home, then my husband was making dinner. So I know, Joanna, I know, but sometimes it's just 9 o'clock at night and I can't stand being in a hair appointment for 2 to 3 hours sitting in a chair. I just want to put it on my hair and get it done, quick and easy. So that's the thing is if you leave it up to finish that. So I didn't rearrange where that schedule was going to go. I should have worked out this morning and I didn't rearrange my schedule. You got to put it as a priority. You can't leave it up to willpower. You can't leave it up to when you're not busy and you can't leave it up to chance. You really have to plan and know exactly when it is. So ask yourself right now, when are you working out tomorrow? Put it in the comments. Put it in. Don't just say in the morning because it may not be the morning. Put the time. What time are you working out tomorrow? Put it in the comments to prove that you actually know exactly what's going to happen on Thursday. You really know. Me, you guys may be joining me live stream because I'm going to be working out tomorrow when I teach my class and then after. So I live stream my dance class that I teach tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So 8:30 Central is where I live. So you guys are putting them perfect. 9:30, 5 a.m. Oh my gosh. Power to you. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. See, for me, if I was like starting a new goal where I said, I'm going to work out in the morning, that goal would probably be dead in a couple of days because I just am not a morning person. I stay up late. I watch all my DVR stuff way too late and fall asleep on the couch and then stroll into bed. So I know I can't do it in the morning. I'm an afternoon person and Tuesday, Thursdays is when I do in the morning just because I teach. So 9:30, 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Carly's doing doubles. Holy cows. Julie just put the PM. Not good, Julie. You've got to put a time to it because the PM could totally make you dismiss it. You guys with your early birds, holy cow, Teresa's. All right, let's keep going on. The fourth critical step that you must do, especially when you're 30s and 40s. So here's the secret, guys. If you put priority on these 17 steps while you're in your 20s, but speaking more so to the people who are in the 30s, because that's predominantly who talks to me on here, 30s, 40s, who are like me. If you put these 17 steps as a priority now where you are, that when you do get into your 40s or even 50s or later, you're not going to have as much trouble because you started earlier. You know that. It's always about early, right? So the fourth step is it's so stinking critical for you to have a proper warm-up and a proper cool down. So again, I've been teaching group fitness for 25 years and I effectively, group fitness instructors effectively warm up their classes because it's kind of built in as a normal thing when they go to teach a class. Everybody works out and your warm up really should at least be around 5 to 8 minutes long. So when you're just doing your own workout, even if like, for instance, you're going for a run around the block, you still need to warm up. And when I go to the track, I walk around the track a couple times before I start doing whatever I'm going to do. So you need to at least have 5 to 8 minutes of warming up. And some of the things, for instance, when I am going to the track and walking around, what I'll do is walking lunges, because I need to open up my hip flexors and move through stretches. So when you're doing a warm up, here's the most important part, is you don't want to hold stretches. So you don't want to hold your stretches long, because your muscles are not warm enough. They're not going to benefit from flexibility. Your goal in a warm up is not to increase flexibility. It's to pump blood in the large muscles, to get the joints lubricated and get the blood flowing out away from the center of your body out to the limbs of yourself, so that you are properly warmed. So if I was trying to warm up my legs and I sat there in a hamstring stretch, I'm not moving the muscle. So it's not going to get warm, because the blood is not being pumped to that area. It's just kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you hanging out down there? So those are some things to really think about. But your warm up definitely has to be about 5 to 8 minutes. Include moving stretches. So they're called rhythmic or dynamic stretching. Depending on what type of workout you're going to do, you might be including ballistic stretching. So when I teach the kickboxing classes on Tuesday, I do a lot of ballistic stretching, because kickboxing is a ballistic exercise. So I need to prepare my body for ballistic workouts. So those are some things. Yes, Lisa, exactly. Good seeing you on here too. So Lisa is from my hometown, Sequoia, New York. We went to school together. I think she was a freshman when I was a senior. I wanted to go out with one of her best friends, Todd, remember? So, yeah, that's definitely first thing with the step number 4 is have an effective warm up. But here's the point where a lot of people just skip. They get done with their workout and then they're done. So they finish on a high note. They do a ton of cardio hits, or the class is over. Hey, we did 59 minutes of cardio. Let's be done. You need to cool down. A cool down should be around 5 to 8 minutes, at least in a class. And if you're doing your own workouts, increase the stretching to be a lot more. And we're going to be talking about that later. But this is where you will do your long static stretches, meaning where you just hang out in a hamstring stretch for 10 to 30 seconds. Always hold your stretches for around 10 seconds or more in your post cool down stretches, because now that's where you're going to gain flexibility, because your muscles are stinking hot. They're going to gain flexibility because you've been moving them through the workout. Yes. Oh, Lisa. Yes. Who's talking about New York? Oh, she's originally from New York. Teresa. Cool. Yeah. We were upstate New York, outside Utica area. All right, so that's step number 4. So 1 is make sure you check with your doctor. 2, reevaluate your fitness level and goals. 3, you got to schedule it and make it a priority. 4, a proper warm up and cool down. And 5, I have 3 things here: realistic, pacing, and challenge. So this is what we're talking about. Oh, Teresa, my friend that I went to college with and roomed with her, she was from Johnstown. Jennifer Foley. I don't know if you know Jennifer Foley. But anyway, so she's my age. So if that's your age, she's your age. But you have to be realistic. So much like I was talking about with your goals, a lot of the times, people put this unrealistic body image. They compare themselves with what they're seeing on Instagram and on Pinterest. Guys, I got a secret. I mean, you got to know this. This is like the day and the age of fake images over and over again. Long ago were the days where only the magazines photoshopped the pictures. Now, everybody has smooth skin. Everybody has no crow's feet. Everyone doesn't have cellulite. Everyone is super tan. Everybody is shadowed out and cut and defined. Even people have tiny cinched waist and bellies because you can edit everything. I can make myself be a completely different body by apps. I am a wizard with apps, and pretty much the majority of every picture you're seeing online has something done to it. Not saying that they are changing their body with, moving the waistline or smoothing out the face or whatever. Even filters, just using those awesome little filters that those apps provide for you, like Instagram, those change the way you look. You know it. And that's the same thing as why when you go to take a selfie, you sit there and spin until the light looks amazing and you look amazing. It's because we have learned in this day and age of how to take an awesome selfie, what angles we look best in, what color we look good in, what filter we always use. And that's the thing. So the majority of everything you're looking at online has been altered to a degree. So you gotta forget about that. Stop comparing yourself to unrealistic people. Look at yourself and reevaluate yourself and know what genes you're coming from and know what your habits are and understand that you can only improve you, be the best version of you. And there's something really strong on here, step number 15, that is a critical point of how that's going to actually take fruition or happen. So those are the biggest aspects, is just believe everything you're looking at online is fake. That's it. Even myself. Do you think I want to put up tons of pictures and videos where the lighting is horrible or I look like I need to go to sleep for 15 hours? Like, no, I'm not going to put that up because those images live online. Hi, teenagers. Yes, everything you put up online lives there forever and people can find it. Even if you delete it, it's still there. It's still like down in the deep dark web. It's still there. So I'm going to control the images I put up. I'm honest. I'm not going to put up I'm not going to take one picture of myself working out and then put that one picture up. No, I don't know anyone who does that. Anybody you follow in fitness? Nope. We'll probably take about 100. And actually a new trick that one of my teammates taught me is she does video. And then she does screen grabs of the video of where she is. So it's like, wow, that's a lot easier than taking a billion pictures and checking to see if you got a good picture or not. So thank you, Tina. That is so kind. You never felt good in your own skin. You're over 45 and struggle. You know what, Melinda, you're going to hear some good points on how to be able to help that. Okay. So you got to be realistic. The second thing is pacing. Again, be realistic with your pacing and what really can you change in your body in the amount of time that you're setting for your goals. So many times people want to, have abs and create muscle cuts and definition, but they want it to happen within a month. I mean, depending on where you're starting from, most of the time that's not realistic. I mean, to see your abs, you can have super strong abs, but you have a ridiculous layer of fat on it. A lot of people say my arms and my legs are amazing, but I just have this pooch and chub on my belly that I can't get rid of, and I work out and eat super healthy. Nope, you're not, because your chub on your belly is all nutrition for the most part, is the cornerstone. So you can't lie about where you are. You just can't lie about where you are. And that's why the first step of go see your doctor, because it may be other things. Hormones could be totally messing you up. And the latter part of that was challenge. So I always say when I'm teaching my group fitness classes, I don't know if you guys tune in to my live streams or not when I teach, but I say a lot to other times to people, especially during parts of the class where it's really difficult and it's easy to kind of wimp out and not really push through. Get out of your pajamas. Stop being so comfortable in your workouts, because if it's comfortable, if you're doing it and it's not challenging you and you're not thinking in your head, oh my gosh, I want to stop. Oh my gosh, I want to just go check email. Oh, this dog is annoying me. I'm going to stop. Like, if you're not annoyed in your workouts, then for the most part, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. So you need to push yourself to an uncomfortable state. And I think I've said it before about weightlifting. You can't use those 1 pound pink Barbie weights. You can't, because that is not going to change your body. Using lightweight because you think that using lightweight and doing a 50 reps is going to make your muscle be tight, toned, defined, and awesome. It's the same thing as doing total body workout classes. I see the people do it in the gym all the time, and they look exactly the same. Is they go to these total body training classes every day. Are you supposed to train your body every day? No. You need to give it a break. You need your muscles to rest and recover. So I felt better 3 years ago when you were about 15 pounds lighter, but definitely had more muscle back then. Exactly, Rebecca. We're going to be talking about that. Shanta, so awesome to see you. I am not the expert. I'm just sharing you what I've learned from failing and sucking and being miserable for many years. It's not until you really find yourself and accept yourself and really figure out what works is when you start to become happier with yourself. So those are some things we're going to do. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Exactly, Trina. So that was step number 5. 6. You have to be okay with a 6-letter word. It's a nasty word. It's 6 letters and people hate it, but it's called change. You have to be okay with change. So more than just, changing your body, but I'm talking about you have to change what you're doing. You can't consistently do the exact same thing. Like that instructor said, where she teaches the same thing every week is exactly the same. That's not going to change your body. So those are some things to consider. My live stream classes, Elena, I hope I'm saying your name right, is on Tuesday, Thursday morning. So I only teach in the gym 2 live classes a week. So being a fitness instructor for over 25 years and obviously being a Beachbody coach, I don't teach to make the money. I've never taught fitness to make money, because you don't make money when you teach fitness. You don't. Only since being a coach is when I've been able to achieve income, financial success because of being in fitness. So I only teach out of love, and because I love to be around other people and to be stupid and just have fun. So my workouts are on Tuesday, Thursday morning. There's a library. So if any of you guys just want to kind of plug in and do any workout, I have a playlist of all my previous workouts. Just go into my videos tab and you're going to see the playlist of other live streams that I've done. So go ahead and you can go do that. So you had a hip replacement and gained a lot of weight. How do you get healthy again? Erica, a lot of these steps, just continue to follow, and we're going to be giving you exactly what you need to do to be able to do that. Okay. Hard time losing weight. Your thyroid level is normal. Got off the pill. Blame the pill. It's not my age. I decided to see a trainer twice a week along with your home workouts. It's cut down, Tina. It's too much. Uh-oh. I don't know about that Pokemon thing. I just don't want to get addicted to something else. But you definitely need to be open to change. And it's more than just changing your workouts. First of all, I need you guys to be open in your mind that there could be a different way. Okay. So I know it kind of sounds crazy, but I just got to give you that quick example that I've been talking about kind of this past year. Is I'm old school. So I've been in the fitness industry since I've been 18 years of age. I started teaching group fitness my first year of college, 18 years old. And so I'm old school. I grew up in the 20s where I was obsessed with the bodybuilding world. I wasn't in it, but I was a fan of Dorian Yates and Vince Taylor, and I would go to the bodybuilding shows, and Corey Miller and Corey Everson and Jim Miller and all like the superstar fitness instructors. That's where I've come from. And I've followed the rules that a bodybuilder typically follows of what they eat, how they eat, and what not to eat to be able to shred and lose fat. I've done that for 39 years. And I've struggled so many times. I think I've done every diet in the world. And I did do a live stream before on fads that will guarantee to help you lose weight. I share with you all the fads that I've ever done and my successes with them all. So there's a live stream talking about that. So I'm a problem child when it comes to trying the quick fix. I've been a secret fatty, if you will. I would not let the public, my MySpace crew, or even my boss, Chalene Johnson, know that I was always about 15 to 20 pounds heavier than when they would see me, because I knew when I'd see them, and I would diet down aggressively for the time before so that I'd show up how they think I always am. So I know that when you're put in front something of a new way to eat, or something else that totally goes against everything you ever know or knew or were trained with or that worked, sometimes we're resistant on, no, that doesn't work. That's just a fad. And that was me too. So coming from the days of you got to eat every 2.5 hours, you can only eat pretty much oatmeal and a sweet potato in the morning, and then the rest of your days has to be vegetables and protein. I've come from those days, but those days have gotten me into some pretty bad mindsets and severe yo-yos. So with me really kind of understanding and following my version of intermittent fasting, following a flexible version and really being loose about it, that it works in my lifestyle. I'm not super strict on it. And I know that there's people that teach it that really say you have to do it like this or it doesn't work. I don't believe that, because if I feel that I'm being restricted, then I'm dieting, and I don't want to diet anymore. I'm done. So those are some things to consider. You got to be open to change. So yeah, intermittent fasting goes against everything I've ever preached and learned and loved before, but times change, science change, and we get smarter, and sometimes you got to see how your body works. So just be open to trying something different. Just don't be a dummy and do something that is temporary. Okay? So no, you can't omit carbs for the rest of your life. You probably aren't going to be drinking some magical liquid for the rest of your life to stay thin. You're probably not going to be wrapping yourself up with a silver sweatsuit or whatever to be skinny for the rest of your life. Think of the things, of the choices of what you're doing. Would that be something that you'll keep doing even when you're 65, when you're 70? Would you still do that? So for me, if I look at what I'm doing now, the way I eat, yep, I would still see myself doing that, because I just ate a hamburger. I had a cheeseburger for dinner with chips, and that's okay because my body can do that now. Will I be drinking my Shakeology when I'm 65? I hope so. I hope Beachbody still has it then, because I've been drinking it for 8 years now, almost 8 years. No, 8.5, 7. How old is it? 7.5 years. So what I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing. My fitness, my workouts have to adjust. Just like Jane Fonda adjusted how she works out. Got it? Good point. Flexible dieting, or if it fits in your macro. So Elena, yeah. So some people follow, different ways of, doing intermittent fasting and your macros and all that type of stuff. If I have to calculate and do math and tons of figuring out, then I'm obsessing about something and I don't want to be obsessed about anything. So that's the biggest thing. All right. So step number 7 leads me to stop the quick fixes and fads. I mean, I can't say it enough. Sure, if you need to lose weight fast and furious for a wedding or your high school reunion, because I know we're in the summertime, some people still have their high school reunions going on, then go for it. Do a fast fix and fad. But you have to be okay that as soon as that event is over, you're going to puff back up again and probably gain more fat. And here's a fact about fat. You actually do not lose fat cells. So you actually do not pee out a fat cell. You got it? You don't lose a fat cell. The only way to get rid of fat cells is to cut them out or suck them out or melt them out. Even that cold, that new technology where it's cold massaging you or whatever it is, that if you research it, it's not getting rid of the fat. They're not going away, because as soon as your habits come back, your fat cells just blow back up again. But you can gain fat cells. See where I'm going? That's why all those, crazy years of up and down with weight is horrible, because sure, I've lost fat, but when I regain it and then I get heavier again, I'm gaining fat cells. You can gain fat cells. You can't. So she's talking about what are thermogenics are a problem. So Brittany, would you be taking hydroxycut or whatever else is out on the market, a supplement that GNC, Vitamin Shop, or wherever you're buying your supplements from, will you continue to take that for the rest of your life? Because if the answer is no, then you already have your answer. I don't think that that's necessary. Sure, if you want to take it with the goal of getting ready for a photo shoot, a one-time photo shoot that you've never done before, sure, go for it. But again, you have to be understanding that that's not going to be life. So life is what you're going to be doing for the long term. That's why you got to really think about it. Do you have to have cardio in every workout? Jillian, no, you don't have to in every workout. As long as you're doing enough cardio throughout the week, that's all you really have to do. And I can't give you the magical number or how many times you should be doing it, because I don't know your body. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what you're doing currently. So that's the reason why I personally work with people every month, by the way, which I'm opening up a continuous running training group. No longer am I running my 3-week, 21-day lean out where I train people for 3 weeks. I'm actually just opening up a Facebook group where I train everybody every day. And I don't have a name for it. So if you've got a cool name, like a club, it's not Bod Squad, but like Body Rockers, she's got hers, and then Bob Harper's got the Daily Burn. You're part of a club. I want to have a club name. That's what I want to make up. So if you've got any ideas, put them in the comments so I can do that. But carb cycling, Z, that's just a different style of eating. And again, if you look at it as this works for me and I like it and I don't feel restricted, I don't feel deprived, and I don't feel like I need to go binge, and I feel like I could keep doing this every day, then keep doing that. Okay? So how do you get in that group? Well, the way you get in the group is obviously, since I am a Beachbody coach, I don't work for free. This is my job. That's what pays the mortgage. That's why my husband does this with me too, because he don't have another job. This is all of our job is. So as much as I just want to keep giving all my time to people, helping them out with their fitness and everything else, I do have to work with people who want me as their assigned coach. So you do have to be assigned to me as a coach. And I always just require that you at least get something that you're going to be following. So whether it be a workout program from Beachbody or part of the nutrition programs, I never sell people something just because I want to make a buck. I would never do that to someone, because that's just dumb. I always want to make sure, and that's the poor girl in me. I grew up super poor. I would never have someone waste their money knowing that that's not the right thing for them. I think that's not a good person. I always want to make sure that what you are getting is the right step for what you need, and I just support you with that. All right, so that's how you would get through it. So if you want to be a part of that, put in the comments that you want to be a part of it. But again, you cannot be a Beachbody coach. You can't be my downline, because you can't buy from me if you're a coach, as well as you can't be working with another Beachbody coach, because if you are, I don't want to take you away from your coach. I only want people who are connected to me. All right, so that's that. The next thing is 8, weight training. Here you go. Oh, you're with Angie. Well, you're in good hands. Definitely good hands. Best muscle building DVD series for busy mom, 40-year-old woman. Well, Jocelyn, she said, Mom, are you from Australia? You know what? I prolonged buying my firstborn's baby book because I wanted one that was cool and unique and not just bought from Babies R Us. And so I found a cool one online, and it got shipped, and it came from Australia, and it said, Mom, throughout it. I'm like, I can't have my firstborn's baby book call me Mom. They don't call me Mom here. So I had to mail it back, and I lost like $30 to mail it back. So here's the biggest point. So when I talked about my own journey and some of the critical steps that I had to change, is I wasn't doing weight training. So I relied on my classes that I taught to be my training. I relied on Insanity, because I was doing Insanity at the time, the body weight training, to be my weight workout. I relied on my workouts to be what I taught to be my workouts. And I wasn't formally lifting weights. I wasn't going and doing a body part every week. I wasn't focusing on back and biceps or chest and triceps. I wasn't doing that. I relied on that. And that catches up to you, because eventually your metabolism is going to slow down. Your muscle has to be strong and built to be able to burn more calories. So weight training was one of the biggest points of why, when I was 39, for a year and a half, did things not work out anymore. This was another huge reason, is because I wasn't weight training. And the same thing goes for my husband. So he's not on here. He can't speak for himself, but if I could show you pictures, you would definitely see. So when when I started Beachbody, my husband wanted nothing to do with being a coach. And, but he was overweight. He was working in IT, and he would go to the gym every so often, but his eating habits were horrible. And he even tried like Jenny Craig, and he lost weight on Jenny Craig. But of course you're going to lose weight on that with the prepared meals. But then as soon as you go back to your normal eating habits, you gain it right back. And that's what he did. So when we had my daughter, and it was 2 months shy of her turning 1 year of age, and he was at his heaviest weight, really chubby, he was around 214, and he was 6 foot, but he didn't have a lot of muscle mass. That's where I gave him Insanity. That was when Insanity first came out. I said, here, just do this. And he said, okay, I'll do it. And so he committed to doing it. And then the first month he lost 25 pounds. And then he continued, of course, doing that for the rest, and he lost 50 pounds. But here's the problem. So for 2 years, no, I'm not kidding you, for 2 straight years, my husband did Insanity. And that was it. Guess what? Yeah, he was light, very thin, like 32-inch waist again. But he had no muscle. He lost all his muscle. He had atrophy of his muscle because he wasn't weight training. And so when he was at the same stage, so I was 39, he was 44-ish, he wasn't lifting weights really either. He needed to lift weights too. And so not until then he started doing Body Beast, and then started mixing it up. Obviously Body Beast and other cardio type workouts is where he started to really just gain muscle mass. And that's now where your body will naturally just keep more fat off because you have more muscle. So weightlifting is critical. But here's the thing. Your form is so important. So guys, I know a lot of y'all follow me because I put up little mini workout videos, and I know you guys are going through YouTube and finding an amazing ab workout here, an amazing inner thigh workout here, and something that's going to get rid of the love handles here. I know everybody's doing that because obviously I'm in social media marketing. I know that that's what people want. I've been in the fitness industry for so long. I know that's what people want. But guys, first of all, it does work, because I've had people, 2 people exactly, not connected to me, not even working with me, secretly doing my workouts, my live stream workouts, and then some of those videos that I put up. And one person has lost over 100 pounds. I still got to put up her promo for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, who are you? You've just been doing my videos? Like, this is crazy. So yes, you can. But here's the typical challenge is the majority of the population is not motivated to search out a workout every day. They want to be told what to do, and they want to follow a system. The other challenge is if you're not effectively piecing together the right workout program and you're just kind of picking what sounds good, you're not effectively going to be, getting the right type of workout. Even if you followed the same person, you're not going to get an effective workout because it's not a system. So with weight training, your form is so important. And that's why you definitely have to have a system instructor, either a live personal trainer, someone like myself as a coach who helps you through things, or even, DVD workout video programs, even the Beachbody On Demand, all of that stuff, where they really focus on form. Like Bob Harper, super focused on form. I love him. Jillian Michaels, if you love her personality, she does a lot on form as well. Make sure whoever you're following is really educated on form and technique, because just moving weights is not what is going to change your body. That can injure your body. Just a lot of people just don't know what to do or how to lift. Exactly. And that's why you definitely need to have a system, someone to help you with that. That's my suggestion. Number 9, flexibility. Whoo, baby. So we're going up to 17 and we're on number 9. So let's keep going. So flexibility, guys, for real, you lose your flexibility fast. And even where you are right now, you could be super flexible today, but if you take time off, it goes away fast. So you have to put flexibility training as a ridiculous priority. Stop stretching for 1 minute after your workouts. You have to add it in. I'm going to even say more than PYO, because PYO is not necessarily just a flexibility training. It's a strength, it's full body weight movement. You're sweating, you're moving through that. It's not long static stretches. So PYO, amazing workout. It's one of my soulmate workouts. I've taught it for 15 years. Obviously, I was a presenter for Chalene with it, certified tons of people with it, but it's not going to be the only way that you should be doing your flexibility training, because the stretches don't stay there long enough for the most part. You definitely need to be sure that you are adding in a lot of flexibility training. What that means, it's up to you. So it's up to you on, are you just going to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, after you're done with a workout doing stretching, whatever. Or are you going to put certain yoga classes on your schedule? What are you going to put on your schedule so that you ensure that you do flexibility training? So for me, what I've now changed just aggressively this year is after I'm done with my workouts, then I go and I'm stretching for another 45 minutes to an hour. I'm doing foam rolling, which is new to me this year too. I have a vibrating foam roller and I put that as a critical step, but then also stretching is so important. Your hip flexors right now, you can't see me, but I'm sitting here. My hip flexors are constantly being engaged when we drive, when we text, when we type, when we're sitting at a desk, that your hip flexors are constantly being activated and the back of your body is being lengthened. It's really causing bad posture. That's why I have nerve issues in my arms. I thought for years it was carpal tunnel, but it's not. It's because my neck is straight. My cervical spine is straight, and the joint space where my neck meets my upper back, called C7T1, the joint space is being closed off, pinching the nerves. So that's why my arms go to sleep, because I need to train that function. So flexibility training is so critical. Don't overlook it. Don't wait for you to have an injury before you start doing this. I'm giving you the secrets. I'm giving you the super secrets, and I'm 43. I wish I would have done this earlier, but stretching is so important. Don't rush it. You want to at least hold a stretch for 10 seconds, 30 seconds best, okay? But really try to push yourself to that uncomfortable stage. Your stretches should feel on the verge of your mind of I don't know if this is painful or not. It should be on an uncomfortable stage. Same problem, arms always go numb. Yeah, Sarah, that's my issue. I don't know if that's what is going on with you, but that's what's going on with me with that. So those are really some things to consider, is where you're stretching. So tell me, how many times a week are you actually doing flexibility stretching or foam rolling for 30 minutes or more? So put it in the comments, brag for yourself. If you are doing 30 minutes or more, let me know if you are doing that. But you definitely got to stretch the back of your body. So I go to acupuncture on Fridays, and I for those of you who don't know, but I have a big term. I have spondylolisthesis. Basically, what that means is my L3, so my lumbar 3, is fractured off. The vertebrae itself is free flowing because the connection, the bilateral pars, is fractured off. And that's why if you see in my videos, the back of my back, you'll see one bone in my spine sticking out a lot more. It's because those bones are disconnected. And so my vertebrae is free flowing, pushing on the nerves. So that then causes a lot of problem through my back and my hips and my hip flexors and my legs, everything. So my acupuncturist, he does orthopedic manipulation on me. he tells me to do tummy time. So for those of you who have ever had babies, you know how babies hate tummy time. Well, adults hate tummy time too. But work towards building up your tummy time. If you're watching TV, lie on your stomach, and you don't need to be like all the way up in a Cobra press. You can just be on your forearms, you could be on a computer, you could be on something, but really focus on doing tummy time and increasing how long you can do it. So I started, and I could really only stay in tummy time for like 5 minutes at most. And now I'll sit there and I'm just on Facebook after I teach in the morning. You'll know what I'm doing. I'm going to be sitting there on a mat in tummy time for about 30 minutes or so. So I go in tummy time for 30 minutes and then I continue stretching and foam rolling. So those are some things to really consider. So 1 hour yoga classes, 3 1 hour yoga classes. Cool. All right. So we're going to keep moving on. Let's keep going. Number 10, cardio. So this one's pretty simple. You do need to have cardio in, but don't just do the same old cardio. Yes, Zumba is super popular right now, but I know a lot of people who just do Zumba and that's not enough. So you do need to do 2 types of cardio. One is called steady state. It's aerobic. And the other one is more interval-based HIIT training, anaerobic. Those 2 types of training. The HIIT one is where you don't need to do it very long. It's short, quick. And the aerobic steady state one is where you will do it for a long time. So say, for instance, you're on the elliptical machine and you just go for 45 minutes, or you walk around the block 45 minutes. That could be consistent with aerobic if you're going quick enough. Weight training with machines or free weights, I think both, Mindy, because your body gets used to whatever you're doing. So I personally am more of a fan of free weights as long as they're heavy and taxing enough, because your body's working independently and the weaknesses need to catch up. So when you're using a machine, it facilitates your motion, and actually it's kind of a cheat, but it's good to throw in because it changes the way your body works. So that's my thing. Show up the proof. Okay, show us the proof. I'm not sure exactly what that means, Lucas. So with the cardio, you definitely want to be sure that you are doing 2 types. How often you do them per week, again, that's up to you, your own personal goal and fitness level. So whoever you're working with to plan your system, get in touch with them. But obviously, if you want me to work with you, then be sure that you put the comment. And again, you can't be a Beachbody coach and you can't be working with a Beachbody coach. But you, on average, I always say at least try to do 2 to 3 aerobic cardio sessions per week, and probably 2 to 3 HIIT interval style training workouts per week. So depending on what your training is and what you're going for, it might be 3 of one and 2 of another. It could be 2 of one and 3 of another. So it kind of varies of what your goals and everything is. Oh yes, Lucas, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm exactly going to do that. Number 11, here, this one's critical. So again, I'm an old dog at this whole thing, and I've always preached this, and this is the reason why I've been doing turbo kick for 16 years. 16 years. I've been teaching for, I don't know. No. 16 years. Yeah. So I started doing turbo kick, which is the live version of a home workout series, if many of you guys know of Turbo Jam or Turbo Fire, in 2000. That's when I found it, and I hated it when I first found it because I thought it was stupid. I didn't understand it. So I wanted to work for her though, so I had to figure it out. And then I didn't figure it out though until I did it for a live experience. But I've been doing turbo kick since 2000. I've lost baby weight with it. I've had 2 C-sections. It's always the workout I'll go back to that doesn't hurt me either. I can be high impact in turbo kick off and on, and it doesn't hurt my body, my back, or any of that stuff. So that is my soulmate workout. And why do I love it? It's because it's so flippin' fun. I just love the music, being stupid, silly, playing around, and you can be kind of like do whatever you want to be able to make the experience what you want to be. But that is critical and key. 11 is you need to make it an experience, because if you dread what you're going to do, you're not going to do it for very long. You know what? When you're out of shape and you're getting back into working out, it sucks, because during the holidays around November, December, I let myself off. Like, I don't put restrictions and working out. I gain weight during that time, and I've accepted I want to, because it's my time to just release and not think. But when I'm getting back into things in January, I freaking don't want to work out, because as soon as I put my workout clothes on, I hate it. And then as soon as I start the workout and it hurts and I'm breathless and I look horrible, I want to stop. So I know it sucks to start because you feel like a failure. You feel like you can't do it. You're sucking wind. Everything hurts, and you don't look cute either. I know I don't want to do it either. So the biggest tip I would suggest is, whatever you're doing for your workouts is you gotta make it an experience. It's gotta be fun. It's gotta be something that you look forward to. Not every workout that you do is going to be that, but for the most part, build your programming around that. So, that's why I love teaching the dance class. And even though people get on my live stream and bash me and say I can't dance and whatever, I don't care. Like, I'm not hurt by stupid people making stupid comments. I don't care. There's trolls out there, and people think that because you're putting yourself up online that you're not a real person. It's funny when people will comment on some of my workout videos and they'll be talking about me like I'm not even there. And I'm like, do you know that this is my post and I put that up and I see what you're saying? Like, I don't get that. So those are some things to think about. Is you just got to make the experience. Don't worry about what other people think, but as long as it's doing what you need to do and it's fun, then find what works for you. And it could be, doing something that is totally out of the bag. It could be going to a boxing gym, and doing boxing. It could be a bar class. It could be those spinning classes like Soul Cycle, or my friend Monica Gray. She has a studio in Orange County, California called Loco Cycle. And those are some things to think about. As it's fun. You just got to find fun people and find the experience of what you want to do, so you look forward to it and you don't dread it, because it shouldn't be dreadful. Can you do cardio through turbo kick and other classes like that instead of elliptical or treadmill? Yeah, you can do that, but again, I'm always thinking that you should always mix things up, that you shouldn't always have the same consistent routine. You always want to change it up because your body definitely reacts differently by what you get it used to. All right, the next thing, 12, we got to move. So recovery. So you gotta think about the recovery side of things. Sleep is so important. And I'm, my husband makes fun of me because I don't sleep a lot. I stay up late. My kids make fun of me because I fall asleep to the TV, watching my DVR shows of like the Real Housewives and stuff. But that's just me. That's just what I need to do. And I then wander into the bed and I go to sleep. But I don't necessarily have to get up. I don't have to get up. Like, the only time I have to get up is on Tuesday, Thursday mornings when I have to teach my class. But thankfully, obviously, since being a coach and having my husband home too, especially our kids are on summer vacation, I don't need to set an alarm. I have woken up some days at like 10:30 or 11, and I'm like, holy freaking cow, it's like 11, I gotta get up. So that's the thing I'm grateful for. But sleep is so important. And if you're not getting quality sleep, then, you definitely want to consider trying to figure out how to get better sleep. And that could be, I wear a sleeping mask. I hate light. So I wear a sleeping mask, but I also like the pressure that's on my face. Your pillow is important. Your bed is important. Even the clothes that you wear, you definitely want to be sure that you are creating a comfortable environment so that you are getting the best sleep that you can. But people say I don't need much sleep, but honestly, that's when your body repairs. So human growth hormone is released when you're sleeping, and that's what repairs, and human growth hormone is what burns fat. So the longer that you can be in a fat burning stage, you're going to burn more fat. And if you don't sleep very long, you're cutting it short, especially when you go start eating. So try to be in a sleepy state and have more human growth hormone working for you to repair your body and to keep you younger. Sleep does make you younger. Your nutrition, we're going to be talking about that, and supplementation. Someone asked about Shakeology. My thoughts on Shakeology. Obviously, I'm a huge fan, considering I've been using it every day since it came out. Yes, I am a Beachbody coach, but I've also been in the fitness industry forever, that I have done every fabricated, crappy, shitty stuff that's on the shelves. For real, everything is fabricated. It feels like plastic to me, especially when it has a nasty aftertaste, when there's artificial flavoring and preservatives. If something's living on a shelf, then it's been, made to sit there, because the store doesn't know when it's going to sell it. And then we just choose to buy it and dust off the cap and go buy that and start putting that in our body. That's what those products are made for. So those are some things to consider. So everyone's got their opinion on Shakeology. It's not a protein shake. Sure, it's got enough protein in it. It's the perfect meal. It delivers the wholes. So for me, I am a creature of habit. I tend to eat, when I'm following my eating program, about the same things pretty much every day. So because of that, if I do have Shakeology, it fills in the holes of my nutrition where I'm not getting a wide variety or not exactly what I'm needing. So obviously, if you're not working with someone as a coach, just talk to them about it. I don't ever want to convince someone into anything. If you are against it, then you're against it, and I'm never going to change your mind. So Make sure though that you have good proper supplementation. That's different for everyone. So for me, I drink branched chain amino acids every day, and that's because I do follow a loose version of intermittent fasting. So I need to make sure that I have a good source of amino acids to preserve muscle while especially I'm in a fasted state. So I do that as well. I have Shakeology every day. I take vitamin D every day just because I was deficient. I do take vitamin C just because I like the gummies, and I take biotin because I want my hair to grow. So that's it. That's what I take. All right. So that's key. 13, nutrition. So just be sure that you really are trying to choose better foods. And I know I'm never going to preach from a point of I never eat crap, because I do eat crap. I just told you I just had potato chips for dinner. I'm going to live, and I like sugar and I like carbs, and that's what I want, to have every so often. But it's all about things evening out. You can't have it all the time, and it has to have a balance. So your nutrition really has to be balanced. And a rule of thumb, every time you eat, you should have a protein, carb, and fat source. So every time you eat, it should be a protein, fat, and carb source. Too many times people get sucked into, I'm going to have a protein shake, and they make a protein shake with 50 grams of protein and 0 carbs and 0 fat, and they think, bam, that's going to be great. It's not great, because to lose fat, your body needs fat, and to lose fat, your body needs carbs. So if you're not feeding it the right balance of what it needs to be able to effectively function, it's like putting in gas in your car but not having oil in it. Your car's not going to be able to run because it needs both. It needs it all to be able to effectively run. So those are some things to consider. Jackie, a meal replacement. Oh, that's your question. So, I don't call it a meal replacement. I don't call it a protein shake. It's a nutritional meal. It's a part of my meals. So it's just part of my normal meal plan. And it's a nutritional shake. That's a superfood shake. So it's got all the superfoods in it, probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, all that type of stuff in it. All right. 14, balance. So over the age of 25, your balance starts to decline quick. So as soon as you get over the age of 25, your balance declines really fast. Really challenge your balance and train balance. So for instance, if you're lifting weights, why stand there with 2 feet solid on the ground doing dumbbell curls when you can put yourself in an unbalanced state doing dumbbell curls? If you don't have a Bosu ball is one of those half dome things. You could stand on that, of course, if you have one, and your core has to fight, your balance has to fight constantly. Even standing on a pillow is going to throw your body off a sense. But if you don't have anything, even just taking 1 foot off the floor and trying to do movement, you have to put yourself in constant unbalanced states so that you can regain balance. And that's about training. So more so than just doing strictly, say, yoga and sitting there in tree pose or half moon pose forever. Yeah, that's going to train your balance, but your functional daily life really has to be incorporating it throughout. So really challenge yourself to incorporate it. And that's really going to be something. One eye-opening thing that was really shocking for me. So I've already told you all what's wrong with my back. I also go to chiropractic and active release therapy on Tuesdays. And so my active release therapist, she always has me do this exercise where I'm standing 2 feet on the ground and pick one knee up and then pick the other. I have to transfer my weight a lot to one side before I can pick up the other and then transfer over and pick up the other. Your body shouldn't have to do that. That means I'm unbalanced. And that's retraining my brain to retrain my body to be able to re-engage through the core and to be able to keep my body center while I pick up the sides of my body without redistributing the weight. Rochelle, people look at priciness in a different way. For me, I don't look at it as pricey because it's just part of my grocery shopping list. That's part of a meal that I'm going to have every day. I'm buying food nonetheless. So it's just part of my grocery shopping list. And people will buy what they find value in. So I don't care about people saying, that's pricey. But then they're going to go and buy, expensive hair care products or makeup or even a Coach purse or whatever. People will want what they want and they will find a way to get it. And for those who are looking at a way to come up with an excuse or a reason not to, they'll put that as an easy blame. So I'm not saying that's what you are doing, but that's what a lot of people will say about that. I've spent thousands of dollars. I mean, who knows? I probably made the weight loss industry that quadrillion billion dollar industry, because that's what the weight loss industry is. It's never going away. That's why the government wants us to be unhealthy, because they make a ton of money of false hopes and us buying crappy fad products to lose weight, and the secret pills that's going to make you skinny, and then all the medical bills that we have to have because we're so unhealthy and have to take medication. The government wants us to be in that state. So don't be fooled. That's what they want you to be in. So if you can control and choose more healthier nutrition by having more organic, I'm not saying you have to eat organic, because I know organic food is more expensive. I don't always choose organic. If I do, I do. I don't look at it as a price point. I just look at it as, oh, this banana looks better than those bananas, so I'm going to choose the ones that are not organic because those are freaking green and I need a banana today. So that's the way I look at it. But you need to eat more of whole foods, should I say. So not processed foods. So frozen foods are like frozen meals. Those aren't effective because those are super processed. And so if you could be more to a basic state of food, then you're going to be in a better state for your body. Your body needs to process the foods that you're eating. And that's why, when people are always trying to be super creative with their recipes and stuff, I'm like, that's just so much work. I don't want to have to be so creative and spicing things up and making replacements to make this food healthy. Like, whatever. If I'm going to eat something that's lasagna, then I'm eating real lasagna. I'm not going to replace it out so that it's like a poor version of lasagna that I'm regretting that I didn't eat the real version. No, I'm going to go to Buca di Beppo. I'm going to get lasagna, and that's what I'm going to eat. And then the rest of the days, I'm going to have the steak and vegetables and apples and bananas and stuff that I normally do. So that's the way I look at it, is you don't always need to replace. You just need to make sure that you are balanced. And so with the nutrition, the same sense. It definitely should be, Amy, for sure. Good seeing you, Amy. It's been forever. Healthcare should be called sick care. It's so bad. Keep it simple. That's the way I look at it. Because if it is something where you have to be so creative to keep yourself interested, then you're creating a problem for yourself. I help people with, when they're coaches, they get started, and the way I do coaching is I don't want you to think. So if you're a new coach with me, working with me, and you want to get your business off the ground, I don't want people to have to think and create the wheel when I've already done it. So what I do is I create systems and templates and plug and plays. And so that's one of the things that I do, is I give a new coach my system to help people through a week-long clean eating group. And all they need to do is get the people in the group. And then they just plug my system in. They give them the meal plan. So then they'll follow the meal plan that they have for the week. And then they want to run one another week. And they go, what's the new meal plan for the second week? Why do you need a brand new meal plan? Like, so you got to make people think all over again? No, if they got through successfully 1 week and they kind of know what to buy at the grocery store, let's make their second week a lot easier. They can just go buy the same foods. They could do some changes and variety of switching things out, but you don't need to make things so fancy and hard. Don't make it so fancy and hard. All right. Balance training. Oh, that's what we were talking about. I skipped back to nutrition. Okay, 15. We're almost there. Let's finish this. 15. This one is so important. So someone earlier, Melinda, I want to say her name was, talked about she's 45 and she still has not found love for herself. This is something that I continue to do for myself, because yeah, I may seem confident. Yes, I'm in the fitness industry, but there's always that voice deep in your head, especially if you've been a person that's ever struggled with comparing yourself to other people, which I did growing up. 4 years old, I told y'all, I said I was chubby to my grandmother, comparing myself to my 3 elder sisters, to always being the last pick for dodgeball in the neighborhood, to, being compared to the preppy rich girls in school when I was the poor girl that got her clothes from the church donation. Like, constantly comparing yourself and not feeling good enough because of where you've come from. I know that that's deep inside your blood, your body. It's hard to change. And I'm a big fan of therapy, and I've gone through therapy, EMDR type of therapy, which I heavily suggest, because EMDR processes through trauma, but other deep-seated things that you just keep recalling back up and making a problem back in your life. So that's what I've done. And the other is just personal growth and development. So in my late 20s is when I started working for Chalene Johnson's company, and I was successful as an instructor and became super successful with her company eventually, that I was constantly in fear of other people superseding me. And it was because of myself. I didn't have value of my own self. And I was always looking at, why does that person get that opportunity? How come she didn't ask me? And it's because I didn't have value in myself. And it really wasn't until I actually had a bad breakup. What do these breakups do to me? And that's where I started with my very first cassette tape. I was living in Buffalo, New York, and I went to the public library downtown, and I took out my very first Tony Robbins. And I was listening to it because I used to think it was people who needed, false sense in their life to grab onto something. But I started listening to that, and that really got me through, and I connected spiritually and, went back to my faith. And as that grows and you start to learn more about yourself, you start to develop more of yourself. So personal growth and development, you got to feed your brain, because how can you fix the negativity in your brain if you're not educating it, and finding value and strengths in yourself and seeing the love and what you have to offer. So, I'm not perfect. I've got flaws up the yin yang. Just ask anybody in my household. But the thing is that I'm not going to obsess about them, because I'm human. I'm not a robot. And I just want to share my experiences with other people and let them know that you're normal too. And you just got to find a way to share your life with other people so that you can inspire someone. Because even if you think that who am I? I can't impact anybody's life. Yes, you can, because you have no idea that you're already impacting people's lives in a positive or negative. So which way are you impacting someone's life right now? Are you an example to people around you? Because if they're watching your bad behavior, bad habits, and bad lifestyle, you're impacting someone's life by saying, I don't want to be that girl. See what I'm saying? But if you're working on your journey, you don't have to be there. If you're working on your journey and just sharing it and showing people where you fault and where you're working on and what you've learned, and just sharing that, then someone else is seeing that and saying, I want to secretly stalk that girl. So that's typically how it happens. Got that? Okay. So you got to work on your mind. You gotta. And some of you might need to go to therapy. Like, I really strongly suggest that, because sometimes your mind might be way too messed up. And I'm not saying it as a joke, but that's the truth. Because even though I thought that I'm past my childhood didn't define me. I'm a strong, successful person in my adult life. But I had a lot of experiences growing up that I could not talk about without crying. And that's because it still cut. So if you're still being cut by your past, then you got to handle it. The 16th one is removing toxins. So toxins meaning multiple things. So if you are putting toxins in your body, smoking and abusing alcohol, because of course I still drink wine. Hi, I'm not stupid. I drink wine. But if you're putting a lot of, toxins in your body, even the environment of where you are, if you're, in fumes, it's sad because, hairdressers are constantly ingesting fumes by colors. I mean, I was just in the hair salon today, so I know it's always around, and they need to protect themselves, in my opinion. But if your environment is toxic, and someone asked about Shakeology, guess what? That's what Shakeology removes. Shakeology removes the toxins that are stored in your cells, but it doesn't remove it by drinking it every so often. Shakeology has to be something that you do every day, or pretty much consistently, should I say, because the buildup effect is then when your body starts working for your body. Because just because you have one shake, it's not going to release all the toxins and release all the fat and give you a ton of energy. No, it's about consistency. So your environment is putting a lot of toxins in your body, which is clogging up your system. So I've done resets. So Beachbody has one called the Ultimate Reset. That's the one I believe in. I do not believe in juice cleanses. I'm sorry. If you love them, I don't, because I think you need to eat food. You need to eat food. I don't believe in the magic secret cleanse where you drink honey, cayenne pepper, lemons, and whatever. I don't believe in those things, because that's not life. That's temporary. And that's abusing your body, where you're trying to just suffer through something. So I think you need to eat. And I've done the Ultimate Reset 2 times a year for 4 years or so. And that has been the solid system that detoxifies your body super. So get rid of toxins that are coming into your body in that way, but then also in your own foods. So even just, not washing your fruits and vegetables, there's so much crap on them, especially if you are buying them from the market and they have all that film all over them. You got to wash that stuff off. And I hate washing vegetables and fruits. That's why I buy a lot of that frozen. But the other side of toxins is people. So people, your environment of people are affecting your life. And you are the average of the 5 closest people that you surround yourself with. So if you have negative naysayers and I can't, and what are you doing, and making fun of you, or drama queen people, if that's who you're influencing, the 5 closest people that you keep with you, unfortunately, that's what you are too. And I know that there's this whole thought process of you being the savior and I can help change people because I'm the one that's going to inspire these people. It's not how it works. You have to align yourself up with people who are going to move you to being a better person, to lift you, and to help support you by not trying to make you fail, but really to support you in where you're going with your life. And they may not always agree exactly with your decisions, but as long as you're aligning yourself up with your priorities and honoring your priorities, that is going to lift you up. But you got to find people who have been there before you. So where you want to go, align yourself up with those people who've been there, because they can just, bring you through that pace and be able to make that happen a lot faster. So if you've been following me, just these past 2 months, for June, we went to Hawaii for 9 days with 6 other couples and all their kids. That circle there of influence, and that's, Chalene Johnson, Janelle Summers, and Minnie Lauren, Molly Richards, and Jen Delvaux, and Monica Gray. That influence right there, those are my influencers. Those people are super successful, and we're the average together. The same thing with this past weekend, where this past weekend, 4 other couple friends of mine, Mindy, Lauren, Repeat, we went up to Miami Beach to hang out with our friends and as a family too. That is what lifts you. So you have to constantly put yourself in a point of feeling like you're not the best. You're not the best in this group. Because when you're the best in this group, you got to find a new group. All right. And the final thing, 17, is accountability. It's kind of impossible to move towards huge success in your life, whether it being with your career, with your relationships, with your body, with your health, whatever. It's kind of impossible to do it all alone. It is. And those people that say that they're self-made or no one taught them, they did this all on their own, they don't have a mentor, they don't have a coach, I did this all on my own. They're liars, because someone has blazed the trail before. It's not like they just all of a sudden part of the season, brand new first person doing it. They weren't. So someone always has someone that they're following, but you're going to have greater success, more commitment to that success when you've got accountability. And that's why Weight Watchers works. So I don't know Weight Watchers. I've never done it, but I know that Weight Watchers works because of the accountability, where people have to go into meetings and report and weigh in and stuff like that. Accountability works. And that's why my challenge groups, they work, because that system of checking in every day and seeing what other people are doing and the questions that they have and the requirement to check in and learning, that keeps you accountable to following through. And that's why, with coaching for me has been the strongest point of accountability for me and my fitness, because I struggled through my fitness, but I'm in the fittest point of my life at the age of 43, because I live out loud with my fitness and I share with you my struggles and everything along the whole process. And that's why coaching has allowed me to be able to do that. So sure, I'm developing business entrepreneurs and leadership, but the only way that I'm knowing how to do that is by educating myself and then teaching other people. So you have to decide that I need more accountability in my life. Just saying to my personal self when I wake up on Monday, I'm going to start today, is not going to work, because by Wednesday you're going to fall off the wagon and then you're going to restart all over again that Monday. If you don't have accountability system, sometimes it's not your spouse, because you can yell at your spouse and tell them, stop it, I'm going to eat this cookie and you can't tell me not to. You'll do that. So your spouse will tell you what you need to hear sometimes. So it might need to be someone that kind of scares you a little bit. And honestly, that's the greatest part with mentorship. One of my closest friend and mentor is Chalene Johnson. She kind of still scares me, because I've known her for 16 years, but she's super uber successful in business in multiple areas of her life. And I know how her mind thinks, and she sees things that are going to happen before they even happen. But even though I could talk super candidly with, she's my mentor, but there's still a tinge of, she kind of scares me, because I am working to always be better. And I'm trying to work towards following, the priorities in my life. And I know that she teaches from a great place. And so that's what you have to think about, is your accountability should not be someone you can steamroll, because most of the time you can steamroll over your family. It's the same thing as you yell at the people that you love the most. And it's not right, but it's just what life is. And so that's why I look at accountability definitely has to be that. And that's why, with coaching, when I am mentoring people, I honestly think that someone should be choosing a mentor that has that path and really is going to kind of keep them a little bit on the edge, or a lot of it on the edge, if that's what you need, because that's where you're going to have a stronger sense of accountability and you're going to make changes in your life. This was a long, long one, and I didn't plan it to be this long, but I'm glad you stuck it out with me and you're so conversational. Should you drink Shakeology with your meals, morning or evenings? I don't drink Shakeology with my meals because it is a meal. So I'm not like drinking Shakeology while I was just eating my hamburger for dinner. No, because my Shakeology is a meal. I make it around 350-ish calories for what it is. So it's a meal. It's my meal. And how you want to eat your food per day, that's up to you. If you want to have 6 meals and a 7th one is a shake, or I've lately been doing about 3 to 4 meals, and one of them is just Shakeology, and the rest are heavy, dense meals, like chewing food meals. And that's just because it's been working for my schedule. So that's the way I look at it. And when you have it, it's up to you. It doesn't matter, because as long as you're having it, then your body's processing it. Everyone needs support and accountability. Perfect. I'm super grateful that y'all stayed on here with me, and feel free, if this was valuable to you, that you click on share. This is a recorded video, so you can click on share and let other people find these tips and maybe get a smack of reality too, because I'm sorry, I just talked from the truth. I'm an open book, and I only want people to be successful and to learn from my mistakes and learn from my experiences. So it's not that they're mistakes. That's the way I look at it, is everything happens for a purpose and a reason. It's the way of how you handle it and what you learn from. So I don't think anything is a mistake and I should have done things differently. I think that's how life was. I learned from it, and this is how I can now move forward. And so I just want to share those experiences with people, and that's why I love helping other people be able to create the life that they never thought was possible. That's me. I'm living a life that I didn't even put in a dream. I didn't even put on a dream board because I didn't even know this life could be. And so life could be even way more amazing, more than you can even dream of right now. And it's about deciding what you want to do with it. And, not everybody has the exact path of what they want to do. And if you need some help figuring that out, reach out to someone that is been there where you want to go and see how you can get there. But if you are considering becoming a Beachbody coach and you want to have me be the person that helps bring you down the path and mentor you, then reach out to me. You can email me at contactchristined@gmail.com, or just feel free to message me here in Facebook, or even put in the comments, I want to talk to you, or you look amazing tonight, whatever it is. But anyway, I will reach out to you guys and chat with you. So thank you so much for liking the video and sharing the video and passing this on. And hopefully you're going to work out with me tomorrow morning. If you can't do it tomorrow morning, then do it later on, because it's going to be there in my videos tab. Bye. Thanks again.